Hi Taurus, welcome to your 2025 astrology. And welcome. First of all, every material that you will see in the screen, it is available for a free download if you are interested, along with a free moon calendar for the whole year. And you will have this timeline, also this AstroWheel that tells the movement of all planets during the year. Okay, let's start with the timeline. We have 4 eclipses happening in 2025. The last one of eclipses in the axis of Libra and Aries is happening during the end of March. It will be the last one, and it ends those cycles going back and forth in your Libras and Aries houses. So those houses has been 6th and 12th house. I will talk about that in just a minute. So we have an introduction to new eclipses here that continue for 18 months. The eclipses will happen in the signs of Pisces and Virgo, especially the focus will be completely starting this fall, the fall of 2025. And it started, we had the first eclipse, in fact, in the sign of Pisces in September 2024, but we are completely into the new cycle starting in 2025. Then there are 3 Mercury retrogrades that happen in water and fire signs. Then for the first time after 1.5 years, we have Venus retrograde. After 2 years, we have Mars retrograde as well. Jupiter changed signs in summer. It moves from Gemini to Cancer. Also, Saturn after 2 years changes signs. Uranus after 6 or 7 years changes signs as well. Neptune, it will change signs since 2011, so this is a big deal. And Pluto will continue its journey through Aquarius till 2044. So there are some major events happening here, but let's see from the perspective of your sign. So this is for Taurus, Sun in Taurus, Moon in Taurus, or Taurus rising or ascendant as well. But mostly focusing for Taurus Sun and Taurus rising. That's how you can be better benefit from this video. Now let's continue. This is the AstroWheel. You can have a look at this at the left. It's zoomed in, while I have the printed version here, and you can see with my pen where I am pointing to, so you can better see what areas I'm talking about. Okay, let's start with the first month, January. I'm starting with Mars that continues its retrograde journey through the sign of Leo until the first week of January, when it changes signs and goes back to Cancer. This is not something new because Mars was already there, and then it began its retrograde journey in the first week of December 2024. Some of you might have had some problems regarding family or living situation, or reflecting a lot about that. Now, maybe relationships within family or relationships with your parents might have been not very harmonious. And I'm talking about the period from November, December, and this continuing in January 2025. And then it moves into the sign of Cancer, that is your 3rd house, the house of communication, traveling, short distance travel, the house of siblings, cousins, of writing, thinking. It's very important for you not to be very rushed into saying the last word to somebody, especially to those people I talked about, like siblings or cousins, or people you are in touch in your daily life, because it might get into some conflicts, and that is not good, because it might seem like a minor conflict, but it precipitates to something bigger. You need to be careful also with your local traveling, like traveling in your city, traveling with your car, to be careful while driving, because Mars rules injuries. But and it happens because you might get very impulsive. So it's very important, if you are aware of that and not become very impulsive, it all will be very good. Now, it's not all that bad, because at the second half of the year, we have Jupiter moving into your third house. So any conflicts that you had previously with siblings, cousins, or in your daily life will soothe down, and it will be much, much better. And this continues for a year, since from June 2025 till the June of the next year, 2026. So you will have the help of Jupiter for that. Now let's talk about the eclipses. The eclipses in the signs of Libra and Aries that started since fall 2023 have been in your sign of, in the houses of subconscious, your routine health, and there's this last eclipse that is happening into the 12th house for you Taurus. But anything that you might have been working on, like for some of you might have gotten into therapy, or might have been more conscious about any subconscious patterns, and realizing that sometimes you were your own worst enemy, or being very anxious, or having those self-limiting beliefs that, or giving some kind of pessimism. You might have worked on that for quite some time when those eclipses happen there, but this is the last one that happens, and it's just going to bring you, I think, that last chapter in bringing you more clarity and preparing you for the movement of Saturn in the same house, and Neptune as well. So those chapters of difficulties or new beginnings, new endings regarding your work. Some of you might have changed jobs or have gotten into a new job with new co-workers, or changes with people that report to you if you are a manager, or if you have been hiring somebody. Those are ending. And now Saturn, the strict teacher, comes there, and it's like giving an exam there and testing, have you learned the lessons? I think you are very well prepared, but it will move to the same house of subconscious self-limiting beliefs. But this is the house as well of the hidden enemies, or people you don't get along with, and any person that might have not been inspiring or helping you or supportive anymore. You might just try to cut off contacts and not deal with them anymore. But you have to be aware that Neptune is moving there as well at the end of March, exactly one day after the eclipse of Aries in the same house. And with the Neptune there, it brings sometimes some kind of confusion or idealism. So regarding those people that you don't get along with, you might either suspect in a wrong way that somebody does not have their best interest there towards something regarding you, or you may be just too trusting and not have clarity. So you might trust too much somebody and then realize later that they were lying to you, or they were not really your friend, or something like that. Okay, now that's not the only thing, because we have Venus and Mercury retrograde that go into Pisces and Aries as well. So those themes of maybe past problems that you might have had with people that you don't get along with might be brought to the table as well, or those people from the past might come back into your life, and you have to make a decision there and have more strict, firm boundaries regarding them. With Saturn being in your 11th house, the house of groups, friends, the goals. Now, on one side, I think if you have really managed the good energies of Saturn, you might have been more clear or strict with your long-term goals. But regarding your friends and community, some of you might have been disconnected, or somehow some friends that you were in good relationships before might have been away. Different reasons, maybe life changes, or you're not connecting more any deeply, or not having the same goals anymore, and sometimes having less friends but good ones. That's how I can interpret that Saturn in the 11th house. And even though you might feel sometimes isolated or alone, Saturn is just for restructuring that area of your life. And when it ends its journey, and it's ending that journey in 2026, you might get some relief. You might get to know new people and connect much more deeply with those new people as well, and feel much more happier. Okay, so the eclipses in the signs of Pisces and Virgo will happen in your 5th and 11th house. They started in September 2024 and will continue for 18 months almost. So they are for the long run, almost there, and will go back and forth in your 11th and 5th house. So we have the last eclipse that happens in the sign of Aries at the end of March. And then on March 14th, there's this first eclipse that happens in the sign of Virgo. Then on Pisces, September 7th and September 21st, again in the sign of Virgo. So houses 11th and 5th will be emphasized again for you. Now, I do think this is not something completely new to you, with Saturn being there, so giving you some lessons, and it's somehow preparing you for those big themes. Now, this is the house of dating, romance. You might get to know somebody very important here. You might fall crazy in love with them. But the eclipses are there to put people and events that will stay for the long term. So if there's no good alignment, or you are not having the same goals and perspective about the future, you might see some endings there as well. If you are currently in a relationship and it is not working, you might get tested about that. At the same time, this is the house of children, or the house of pregnancy as well, if you're looking for that. If you have a child or children, some major changes might happen in their lives. Also, the communication with them might be very dynamic and might go with many ups and downs as well. What else? You might rediscover a past hobby that you didn't think a lot about, or you didn't put much emphasis, but it's very recommended for you to pursue that hobby if that is the case, because it will bring much more joy and fulfillment to you. The 5th house is the house of fun and games, so those eclipses, I think, will bring lots of excitement to you as well. It's not all that black and white like it might have been with Saturn moving into your 11th house. So overall, it seems very, very good. And the last one, I think, is the transit of Uranus to Gemini. This is a big deal as well, because Uranus has been in your 1st house for quite a long time, since 2018. So for 6 years, 7 years, and it will move completely. It will leave your 1st house in year 2026. You might have gotten into some big drastic changes regarding on your appearance or your taste on what to wear, especially past friends that you might have not gotten in contact. When they might have met you, they might have not recognized you. So you might have changed a lot. At the same time, you might have become more independent, more adventurous. And with Uranus moving into the second house for you, you might get a preview of what might happen the next 7 years, starting from 2026. It's regarding your ways of making money. And because Uranus is related to technology and spirituality as well as esotericism, you might find new ways on making money, maybe using technology, or might be into spirituality, astrology, tarot, something like that, and you might consider it as a business. You will have out-of-the-box ideas, very genius ones on how to make money as well, but you should be careful on the way you spend your money, because you need to keep track of your expenses, because with Uranus moving there, it can bring excitement, a windfall, but at the same time, it might increase your expenses if you are not careful, if you're buying something that you don't need. Okay, this is overall the theme that I'm looking at. And with Pluto staying into Aquarius, it will stay there till 2044. I think major changes in career are quite possible as well there. And you being more determined than ever about your life path and being on the right direction to follow that, and not being in a job or career that you don't feel connected there anymore. Some of you might get into a big promotion or a position like becoming the CEO of the company or the manager there, something very exciting and important might have regarding your career. It might have started to give that signs during the last 2 years, I think, but now it is moving very slowly, and it will not happen overnight, but Pluto is there for the long run, so at the end of it, you might see that the career might have been very, very important for you, and you climbed up the career ladder and you went to the top of the mountain and being very successful there in your career path. Okay, Taurus, this was your big picture, I think, for the whole year 2025. I hope this was helpful. There are already 18 minutes. I didn't expect that. In fact, I was trying to be more concise, but let's hope I was helpful with those insights about those planetary movements. But we have too much changes happening for the year 2025. So this definitely will be a very turning point for many of us. And if we are not in the right path, definitely all those movements will align us and help us find a much better fulfillment as well. Okay, Taurus, wishing you all the best for 2025. I will end this here, and also don't forget all those materials. If you are interested, you can get for free in the link in the description box below, and the free moon calendar as well. Wishing you all the best. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.